Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mathas versus the Ladder. This is Mathas StarCraft, obviously, and I'm looking forward to showing you this game. It's actually going to be between one of my viewers and myself. This is one of the two losses I was previously talking about. As always, we'll be watching this from my point of view, and it's going to be against Hephaestus. A good guy, I really like him. He's really friendly to play with. We played a best of 3. This is the loss that I had, and I wanted to show you guys exactly what was going on. He is a Protoss, and I kind of know how I failed, but I wanted to show you guys, give me hints or tips on how I could have reacted better. I definitely waited too long. I overreacted, but you'll see what I'm talking about. As always, I'm just droning up and getting ready to take my expansion, early expansion. I think I'm going for a 15 hatch here is exactly what I'm looking at. So we'll see what happens. Nothing too exciting. As always, subscribe if you have not. I hope you guys enjoy Maths versus the Ladder. It's something, like I said before, I thoroughly enjoy casting. It's relaxing. I can sit back. No crazy micromanagement over the mini-map and whatnot. It's just a lower level tier of play. And yeah. Let's see how this goes. So yeah, he seeing me, found me, he scouted me out, and is gonna be immediately following me to stop my expansion. I actually went to go scout first, and I should have attempted to take that expansion because, as you can see, he is warping in a pylon. Originally, I just think it's a pylon block, so I'm just gonna attack that. I decided to dump my minerals into a spawning pool immediately because I know he's gonna be taking that expansion up for quite a little while. I'll pull an extra drone off the line just to do some harassment, try to get him out of there. And yeah, so you'll see what happens in a minute. And there goes the cannon. So he cannon rushes. He's pulling a cannon rush on me. I don't get cannon rush too often, but when I do, I usually react pretty poorly to it. So you'll see what I mean momentarily. I pull my drones right off, kind of let the cannon rush happen, pull my my overlord out of there. I know he's placing at least 2 cannons in there, and immediately I'm going to be finding out right here, actually, that he is Forge first, obviously, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on see if he does anything out of the ordinary. I kind of scout in there with my drone to see what's going on, and at this point I decide that I need to one base roach it just to break this. He says no fast expand for you. I'm actually really glad he cannon rushed me just because I react poorly to cheeses most of the time. There are certain cheeses that I can hold off almost with no issue. 6 poolings. Whenever I play another Zerg, I always 9 scout just for the 6 pool. Poke down here just to see what's going on. I see the cannon. I pull my Zerglings out of there since they are not exactly ready for that. 6 pools I can hold off pretty well. 2 Raxes are almost no problem. Cannon rushes are really rough for me. I've been proxy barracks a couple times, and I'm no good at that. My queen popping out, as you can hear. And if I pause while I talk, it's because I am drinking. So I got a spine crawler going down as well, because I wanted to move that spine crawler up along the creep to see if I could poke at it. Looking back now, not necessarily the best investment, because if I believe what he's doing is expanding behind the cannon rush, which it looks like he's doing, since he doesn't look like he's doing some crazy all-in-ish proxy gateway with cannon attack, I shouldn't have burned the minerals on that, because that is a roach, that is 2 pairs of zerglings, that is more drones to get my economy going, kind of just thrown into a spine crawler out of a very panicky situation, so I kind of hurt myself there. I got 4 roaches coming up. As you can see, very, very delayed on that expansion now that the cannon's there because they scare me. I think, you know, it kind of screws me. My economy's kind of uneven all over the place. So there are some roaches popping out. I've got a couple more. I attempt to make a couple more. I definitely wanted. I could have probably moved out with those 4 and some zerglings, but that right there was well, was not what I did. And I see him popping cannons down, protecting his expansion, which is smart. So, yeah. So yeah, just kind of like, again, not much to commentate right now just because I kind of literally sit in my base and I'm just kind of like herp-derping it, like what am I doing? I shouldn't have grabbed that second gas either. It was unnecessary. It's a waste of drones. Those 3 drones could have easily kept mining and continued a better mineral inflow. But again, poor decisions on my end. Just spreading the creep as much as I can, trying to get the creep down there so I can move my spine crawler. I should have just pushed out right here. Like I realize like how I'm waiting. Like why? I think the reason why is 'cause I see 3 cannons being warped in. But when I check again, he actually canceled one, which was smart. But those 2 cannons had me fearing that there was going to be at least 3, potentially more. I go right for the pylon just to shut it down, and I now know there's no threat. Kill off that probe, kill off that cannon, and I immediately expand as soon as I can behind that. I attempt to put on some pressure with that because I don't, you know, in my mind that happened a lot quicker. That tends to happen when you play. Things feel like they're happening a lot quicker. But in reality, that was a really, really long time. I dropped my layer tech as well, since I do have all that extra gas because I stupidly grabbed the second gas. Yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, like, just stupid panicking. I put some pressure on. Oh, I was saying that it felt much quicker when I play, when in reality it was like almost 8 minutes. It was 7 minutes and 30 seconds, I think, before I was able to push it down. When that should have been much quicker. I could have just swarmed it with Zerglings. It was only a 1 pylon. I could have thrown out 3 Zerglings down there just to scout to see what he had. So many things I could have done. But I'm glad I'm actually rewatching this loss and commentating it, because as I talk out loud, I realize more and more the things I could have done, the things I could do better next time if I get cannon rush, as long as I don't get proxy gated. Because cannon rushing honestly is not a cheese, unless you're all-inning it. And cheesing, it's a good way to put pressure and attempt to stop that. And I believe it was talking to Hephaestus after this about what I could have done to stop it and whatnot. And honestly, one of the things is when I'm playing a Protoss player, especially in a close proximity map like this, the fact that he actually scouted me that quickly was actually really a good thing. And I think my phone's ringing. Let me take a peek here. And yep, hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. Mildly important phone call. So I don't exactly remember where I was in my speech, but I'm just going to continue watching the replay. So obviously my natural's up extraordinarily late. I'm trying to catch up in the drone count. I got Hydrogen going down. Gonna take both gases since, again, I'm really late. And I'm around 46 food. So optimally, I'd like to have all 4 gases by 44. I don't even have all gases by 50 at this point. So I'm trying so hard. Get my creep spread as much as I can. Any little advantage in my mind helps. Just with the speed, even and whatnot, my army is minimal, and the food count's in his favor. So I'm not looking too good right now. I'm not feeling comfortable whatsoever throughout the rest of this game. Being behind and being blocked that early made me feel like crap. And I should have pushed with those roaches so much earlier. I should have just been able to. I should have pushed with those roaches the minute I broke, just to see what he had. Poked up, was able to do what I could, but unfortunately I did not. So this is where I sit. I've got layer tech up, but still my economy is not nearly enough. I actually want to take a look at the unit counting station. Yeah, it's 48 to 29, so that tells you how far behind I am. And I'm looking to go take my third now around the 11-minute mark. I think I get my drone over there, but I don't plop it down till like maybe the 12-minute mark. We'll see what time it pops down. Getting my upgrade. My Hydra range upgrade is done. So yeah, not feeling comfortable at all. Just really set back, and I just responded to that cannon rush so poorly. And now here comes his push. I didn't see it coming. I assume he has a proxy pylon somewhere nearby. He doesn't start poking at my natural, so I assume he's heading for my third. And actually, if you look at the minimap, he's poking up at the ramp right now. And just barely there. I don't have my third up and going yet, so I can't remember if he picks off my drone. I'm checking to see if he has a third. There he goes, kills off my drone before I even get it up and running. So, not looking good at all. And this is when I start panicking and start pumping all my economy into an army. I just don't have the economy and the hatcheries to support it. I'm checking for proxy pylons really quick. And injecting larva, just in panic mode essentially. I'm in crisis mode, as Day 9 would call it. And I feel like I've already lost at this point, but I'm still fighting. I don't know what kind of army he has right now. Obviously, if you look at the food count, it's a huge. And here he comes up with the creep, just to poke up. Didn't really do anything. Kind of poked, see where my creep was. Realized it wasn't that far. Pulling back my Zerglings. My roaches are being useless up at the top left when I was checking for his third. Should have been up further, but it was not. Trying to get my creep going. So yeah, I mean, like, this is bad. Trying to grab my third now. I don't get it up to like the 13-minute mark. So spreading creep over there just to make sure he doesn't have a proxy pylon hitting behind those bushes. And just just scrambling so hard. And I think I start feeling a little bit comfortable here, but the problem is I don't have the roach count, I mean not the roach count, the Hydra count I need in that army mix. I know he's got mass stalkers, I saw the stalkers, so Roach Hydra is definitely where I want to be as far as army goes, but I'm pumping more roaches than Hydras, and that is not where I want to be. I need those Hydras for that damage, and I need the roaches up front to take the damage, and I have more than enough roaches right now. I need, and then I see that, and I'm like, oh, Jesus H. Christ. Takes out my third. I didn't get a cancel in time. My Zergling decides he wants to attack rocks, which is, you know, whatever he wants to do at this point. So you can see where I went very, very wrong in this attack. Just didn't go well. And yeah, that. So the big thing is, oh, how should I have reacted? Do I have it right when I was talking in the beginning of this? The way I should have reacted to that cannon rush? Should I have just pushed out with 4 roaches? Not grab that second gas was probably key right there. Dumping minerals into a spine crawler, probably a bad decision. Was those strings of bad decisions really what got me? I feel like I'd be in a completely different position now if I had made certain decisions, like not making that spine crawler, not grabbing that second gas, maybe not even necessarily jumping to layer tech as quickly as I did, instead of focusing on getting a third and just trying to catch up. Potentially have double expanded. Watching now, I definitely had the ability to. I definitely had the time to do that. And looking at this army mix is terrible. It's mostly roaches, not nearly enough Hydras to deal with what he's got. Especially if he ever had sentries in the mix. If he had sentries in this mix, it would be game over really, really quickly, as he could just block off my army, and pick off the roaches from a distance. So, not looking good at all. Just not even like a little bit. I'm dropping down another Evo chamber. I just did. Try to get my creep to my third. God, it's a 16-minute third. It's essentially do or die. I feel like I should just push and try to do as much damage as I can, I believe is what I'm thinking. He is so far ahead in the probe count, it's not even funny. So, you should, let me know in the comments what you think. And here we go. I'm going to actually force the engagement because it doesn't look like he has a lot here. And I feel like I could do it. I should have manually moved, though, just so I could get all my roaches, as you can see them over dancing. And then he blinks in the rest, and I'm like, oh, holy crap. Get back on the creep and retreat, retreat, retreat. Build up an army. And try to re-engage near the my 2 spine crawlers, which is any extra damage is better than no damage. My useless overlord chilling that I haven't used from scouting since the beginning of the game. I kind of just lost track of him and lost focus. Trying to get guys in gases. I realized my gas is extraordinarily low. I built those gases down there and never put people in them. Just a string of mistakes, late game, early game. And yeah, so we'll see what happens here. Really, I mean, at this point, there's no coming back. I've lost this game, no question, and I don't even yeah, there is no question I've lost this game. So it's just kind of watching, waiting for the train wreck to just happen. Actually, there's not a lot going on, so let me speed it up a little bit, times 2. Just catch up to where I am, because at this point, like, I tell you what I'm thinking, but right now I'm panicking. Game-wise, I'm just trying to scrounge around, see what I can do. Re-injecting lava. Here comes the encounter. I'll slow it down here. Here he comes. He has an observer now, so he's picking off my creep tumors. I'm losing sight of him very quickly. I know he's around the edge there. He sends in 1 stalker just to do a bit of exploration. And we'll move it back up to times 2. Building the upgrades. Shouldn't have burned those upgrades. I didn't need them. That's wasted money and wasted gas right there when I could have used it on our army. My Hydras are not nearly enough. And now we come into the engagement. I will slow it down here, and here's where I begin to... This is basically it. I need to see what I can do. Blinks right on top of me, which was smart. But I continue pushing away, seeing I could do as much damage as possible. I'm surprised to see he went straight Stalkers. No Colossus, no Zealots up front. Would have been better for him. I mean, granted, he won this game. I can clean this up, but he has a bunch more on the way, which means he has a lot of gateways. It would have been better for him if he had gotten at least some Colossus in this mix. It would have helped clean up those Hydras so very quickly, but either way, at least this army gets cleaned up. So I felt good at this point. I was like, oh, maybe I can come back. Maybe I'll be able to hold this, but yeah, because I'm just building roaches and Hydras at this point. Mostly roaches because they are not as big on gas as the Hydras are. Sending in the Zerglings prematurely. Swinging here. Now I don't have the advantage of creep, which actually I'm feeling right there. and just trying to keep going and just building as now I'm droning up a bit, trying so desperately to catch up. Yeah, I'm so far behind. Here he comes. There's the Colossus and Immortals mixed in. So when I see this and I see 2 pylons, I'm like, oh crap. Honestly, I should GG right here. There is no coming back, but I am pushing anyway. Moving it up, let him come up, and he should push right here. He should know that's pretty much all I have for army. Times 4 it a little bit. Doing a creep tumor spreading there, just trying to catch things up as far as my vision goes and my speed goes. Pooping out some tumors, moving some drones, trying to get an economy going. Yeah, this is kind of... I should have just GG'd at this point, but what are you going to do? Losing is learning. And he's approaching max very quickly. Here he comes to end this, picking off the creep tumors. Kind of abandoned my spine crawlers. I see his army just too big. And here we go. Trying to pick off the Immortals. Then I decided to try and target fire the Colossus, which might have been a poor decision. I get the Colossus, I think. Yep, there he goes, but that just means the rest of his army is going unchecked. And I'm just re-queuing up so I can just, yeah, and this is it. So let's just kind of fast forward this. Why am I still in this game? Yeah, I'm GGing in a few seconds. Just want to see how much longer I suck into this. Drones running for their life. I just had to turn around, just attack, do as much damage as I can. Just times 2 in it to the end. I only have 2 bases. My main is essentially just mined out. And he's scooching up there. I think he's checking for a force just to make sure I'm not all over the place. I'm just trying to spend my economy. At least I have like no minerals left, and my gas is out of control though. Sending some of the guys on gas to finish up those minerals, as any minerals matter at this point. Any minerals count. And now the final engagement right here, and there's the GG, and I bounce. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think. Tips, tricks, you know, all that good stuff. Let me know if what I thought in the beginning was the right decisions I could have made. And I have another loss coming up for you soon, and it's another great game. And it's actually against another Protoss. So I'll see you guys next time.